Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. For tuning in and spending some time with me. We are going to go over the month of October, pretty much just the overview in our household budget, and I am using this B5 bullet journal, and this is by Scribbles That Matter. Really nice notebook. I have a couple of things that I would change if I was able to, but overall the most important thing to me is that it is sturdy and the paper quality. So I've talked about this before, and actually I want to show you this bullet journal. It's so dusty. I don't know if you can tell. You can probably tell a little bit more up close. It's made out of like the cover's like some kind of linen, for lack of a better description. It gets very frayed and dusty on the edges. This is not by Scribbles That Matter. This is a different company. I will not be repurchasing from this company. If I can find out, I don't even know where I got this, to be honest. Well, I don't know what company it is. I know where I got it. I got it on Amazon. But anyways, yeah, pretty generic, I guess. But I wanted to show you the difference between an A5 and a B5. So as you can see, this is pretty much your standard size bullet journal. Very popular, you know, very standard. And this isn't quite the same size of a Leuchtturm, so if you're used to using those, it's not the same size. I think Leuchtturm is just a little bit more wide, but you can see there is quite a bit more room on the top and the edge of this to the B5 size. So what I really like about B5 is that it just gives you so much more room to write and so much more to track. So if you are a very detailed person, that may be something that you're looking for, or some kind of, you know, a trait in a journal that you're looking for, because I like having these nice huge pages where I can just write till my heart's content, or I can make things as large as I want to so that they're really visible and just kind of easy on the eyes. When I say easy on the eyes, I wear readers now, and I have to tell you, I can barely read at all without them. So larger print is better for me. But anyway, let's get into our detailed overview. So if you're curious about my new setup, or if you're just jumping in and you missed the video where I gave a flip through of my October setup, I am in a bullet journal now for my budget. Now, will I ever go back to a happy planner? Probably. I really like using a happy planner, and I use the happy planner big when I budget. But will I ever go back to that? Yeah, probably, because I like to switch things up a lot. And some of you, just according to your comments that were made, can relate to that, and you do the same thing. So like I said in my previous video, it's not that I pay my bills differently. My bill setup and system, my budget, everything is still the same. It's just the layout and how I write it out and visualize it is different. So I'm in a weekly. I don't want to get there yet. All right, so we need the detailed overview. So I have a couple different modules that I created in this spread. One is the monthly bills, extra expenses, variable expenses, income, and receipt. So this is going to be a little bit difficult for me to do because ever since the beginning of this year, our budget has changed so many times, it's head spinning. So I am now facing a situation where I'm trying to map out our financial future in a way that also allows me to kind of wing it. And I don't like winging it when it comes to money. I like everything to be extremely precise, and I like to know what I'm working with and how I have to make things stretch, or, you know, what months are going to be easier than others. So the reason why this particular month is going to be different is because my husband accepted a contract job, and it is good from now until sometime in January. I want to say it's toward the end of January. It doesn't pay what his old job paid that he was at for 25 years. And neither one of us expected that. If he does stay on permanently, his pay will go up considerably, but we have to see what happens. And that's the most frustrating part of everything that has happened to he and I, over the past year, work related, is that we're just always at the mercy of let's wait and see. So if you're new here, I got a pay cut this year. He lost his job altogether. Just a lot of variables have gone into, this kind of wait and see situation that we find ourselves in. So the nice thing is I can pretty much bank on him getting like $1,000 every 2 weeks, something like that. And again, it's nowhere near what he used to earn. However, we're lucky to have it, and it is taking him off unemployment. So his unemployment, he was making roughly $900 every 2 weeks. So this isn't much different, but it's still more stable, and we don't have to, wait for more bad surprises to happen. Now, could he end up on unemployment again after January? He could. It just depends on what happens, but we have to kind of wait and see. And it's just kind of difficult because when you work the same job, or, you've been doing the same thing for so many years, especially like he has 25 years plus, to suddenly have everything kind of be upset is difficult. And some of you may be wondering, whatever happened to his back unemployment, those 9 weeks of unemployment that he never received? So he talked to somebody else today at the unemployment office, and they didn't give him as much of a runaround as previously, but they did say, things are just taking longer than usual, blah, 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 blah. And the frustrating part is, why can't you just get this settled for him? Because I need more light. Because at the end of the day, they're paying him unemployment week to week now. So it's nothing different. And some of you suggested contacting state representative. We have both emailed and called offices. So we'll see what happens. But I feel like at this point, our hands are kind of tied, and we are, again, just at the mercy of the waiting game. So I'm listing our monthly bills. And I'm using a Micron Pigma. This is 05. It's actually a 0.45 tip, and it's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite pen, but these aren't very expensive, especially if you pick them up like at Walmart. I think a 3-pack was like $5, but they are nice for bold lines, and they're not like, they don't bleed too much, I guess is what I'm looking for. So I did change our cell phone plan, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. And the only thing is, we are now out of the 6 months of paying for HBO. I don't even know what possessed us to do that, except I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I just did. But so I can cancel that finally. So our cable bill should go down just a bit. Let's see. Electric, cell phone, car insurance. So, yeah, our bills aren't going to change that much, to be honest. And as far as Home Depot goes, we have since spent more money on this Home Depot card that we got the 0% interest offer, except our subsequent purchases aren't 0%. So just a portion of it is. So I may do one of two things. I may just pay it off with some of my sinking funds, or I may transfer it to a 0% interest credit card if I can find one again that also offers a no transfer fee. So you guys are probably wondering, does that actually exist? It does. The last one I got was through Barclays. So if you're interested, I don't know if they're still doing it, but that was one that did it, and it was a beautiful thing because I had nothing extra to pay at all. I had 0% interest. I had no balance transfer fees, and it was like they were just doing me a favor. They were just like a best friend doing me a favor, and I was like, thank you so much. It was really, really nice. So student loan, I am probably going to have to up my payments sometime next summer, I think. They lowered my payment kind of automatically. I don't know why. It's been the same rate. It's been like a year like that. But for whatever reason, next year it's going up again. I don't know. So I don't really even try to pretend to understand how they do things, to be honest with you. At this point, I should have qualified for something that they passed in Congress, which was loan forgiveness after 10 years, because in the very beginning, I totally defaulted. I'm not going to lie. And I was so irresponsible at the beginning of that, and I accrued so much interest. But I think it was like 0.0000001% of the population actually qualify for that plan. So yeah, it was a big no when I applied for that. So anyway, cable and then water. Our water bill is huge. And apparently it's that way for everybody in our area, but what can you do? And then trash, we don't have this month, but I'm still going to list it just because we pay that every 3 months. And then I'm listing Home Depot because flooring. And well, actually now my husband is drywalling the basement, so it's going to be so nice. And since it's all going to be finished down there, it's going to have brand new floor, brand new walls. We're building, he's building some additional walls, so he's going to kind of segment the basement into like a utility area for, you know, washer, dryer, the furnace is back there, everything. And then he's making a bedroom down there. However, I don't think it's going to be a legal bedroom, because I think in order for it to be official, you have to have a window down there, or a window in the bedroom that is like 5.7 square feet, I think, in our state. In our state, you do not have to have a closet to call it a bedroom. That's not a deal breaker, but you do have to have that window. And right now we just have one of those double block windows, so that's not going to help us. But still, somebody still might be interested in it, and I still think it's going to raise the value of our house when and if we go to sell it next year. So let's get down to business and write some amounts. So this is what we are going to be responsible for as of October 1st. Now this little paid column, I'm just putting a check mark here. So as soon as I do it, I'm just checking it off. Let's see, homeowners is going to be 114. And I feel like I could do better than that. And I've said this before, I really need to shop around. Maybe not. I mean, maybe I'm being naive, but I feel like it never hurts to kind of shop your insurances just to see what other offers are out there. You know, I think that's actually a good idea. I really don't like my handwriting with this pen right now. It looks very wonky. Gas and electric, I'm budgeting $100 for each, but honestly, when our electric is high, our gas is low, and vice versa, just because of, you know, our winter versus summer months. So that kind of just evens itself out. In fact, somebody had suggested at one point, why don't you just put your gas and electric together? And I totally should do that, except for my brain to actually recognize it. It is two separate bills because they're two separate companies. So I just, for, you know, like I said, the way my brain works, I need to keep it separately. And then 180 for the cell phones. I know you guys, it's AT&T is not playing around. I mean, they are so expensive, but I know some of you have said we only pay such and such, you know, it's not that expensive, and we have AT&T. To be honest with you, I don't know, we have unlimited data, and we have 3 phones on there, and what else can I tell you? I just don't know. I mean, it's just, maybe that's just expensive for us. I don't know. I think AT&T deals are a lot. So we'll see how it works out. This is going to be my first month on the new plan. So I will let you know what our bill comes out to be, because they can never tell you, you know, exactly what your first bill is going to be. Like, they're pro rating and back rating and forward rating. So I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait to see what my bill says, you know, because I don't know. It's just very confusing. And then car number 2 is 341. And I'm going to write that down. And then trash, I'm just going to put a line through that. And then Home Depot, I do need to pay $75. And then for our mattress, I'm going to make a $50 payment. So what does that all come to? Let's write total here, because I didn't leave myself any room for totals on this page, which was silly. That comes to $27.25. All right, so that's a lot. That's a lot of bills. That's a lot of expenses. So let's move on. Our variables for the month. So when I say our bills, I just wanted to, you know, make that clear. When I say bills, I'm just talking about fixed expenses. I'm talking about utilities and, you know, whether it be loans or mortgage or, you know, whatever the case may be. that's what I, actually write under a bill section. Variable expenses is where I write groceries and gas and our dog food, my cash envelopes every week. So I'm gonna put groceries and then dog food and gas and miscellaneous. Now the only thing I'm not going to write in is the money for my miscellaneous. Now I have 2 extra lines here if I want to populate that with something different, but yeah, I always do our budget like on a Thursday, sometimes a Friday. So I'm actually going to consider week 1, October 1st through the 3rd. And I do have an entire spread for that. So yeah, I do need to do our planning for next week. So our groceries are going to be $120, dog food $25, gas is going to be $60, and then miscellaneous I'm just going to leave blank. These numbers are pretty solid, so I do have 5 weeks including the 1st through the 3rd if I counted that as 1 week, so that's why I have 5 weeks here. So I am just going to migrate these numbers across each week because that's pretty standard, and if I have to change it I will, but it's pretty common for us to use these numbers for our variables each week. And then 60, I mean, I could lessen the 60, but my husband's gonna be driving about a half hour at least one way to work and back every day, so he's going to be using his car or his vehicle more, and I don't know how much Grubhub I'm going to be doing. To be honest with you, I really need a break. I haven't had any vacation time this entire year, so I've taken like a half day here and tried to take like a day here and there. But I don't know, working from home and working remotely, it never really works out. So even when I plan to be home for a day, something inadvertently always happens and I end up answering a bunch of emails or just jumping on something anyway. So when I say I haven't had a proper vacation, I haven't had any time away from the computer this year, and we certainly haven't gone anywhere for like 2 years. I mean, it's been a long time. So when I say I need a break from Grubhub, that to me right now is my envisioning of a vacation. I just feel really burnt out. So income, this is going to be tricky this month, especially if I'm not doing as much Grubhub, because I don't know when my husband's going to get paid. So since he is going to start working, tomorrow is first day of training. Since he's going to start working, I know that he's going to get unemployment this coming Wednesday because that's for last week, but I think that's it. That's pretty much it for that. So I don't know how long it's going to take him to, earn his first check or have first check in hand. So it's just tricky. I just don't know. So I have 2 columns here, amount and amount, just if we have like extra income, because sometimes we had unemployment plus Grubhub plus my paycheck, whatever the case may be. So for week 2, I can honestly tell you, what is week 2? Yeah, the 11th through the 17th, or no, that's not right. Week 2 is October 4th through the 10th. I get paid on the 9th. So I'm just gonna write that down here, October 9th, and I'm gonna write down $1,300 because that's my pay. Now I've taken a $400 a month pay cut since the quarantine started, and then October 9th and October what? 23rd. So that would be week 4. So yeah, I took a $400 pay cut, so I'm down, actually it's more than that. I'm down a little bit more than $200 every 2 weeks. So hopefully, according to where I work, they have plans to reinstate our pay at our old rate as of next July. However, I'm not counting on anything until it actually happens. So that gives us, oh my goodness, that gives us $2,600 if I'm just counting on my income, which is not enough because right there, our bills, just our fixed expenses, are $2,725. So if I look at $2,725 plus 120, times 5 would be $600 plus 125 for dog food for the month, plus 60 times 5 is what, $300? So without extra expenses, miscellaneous money, pocket money, anything at all, we're looking at needing $37.50. So right now I'm in a deficit, $37.50 minus $2,600. I'm in a deficit of $1,150. I need $1,150 just to make this month work with no extras. So that's where I'm at. I'm not going to complete this because I want to be able to plug in those numbers for his pay when I get them. But yeah, October is going to be a trick. I mean, I just don't know what we're going to do as far as how we're going to make that work. Now, let me say this. Can we make it work? Yes. Can we pull from savings? Yes. I am in no way, saying that, oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to buy food this month, or we're not going to be able to pay our mortgage. No. And I don't want to seem like that kind of person who is crying, unnecessarily. So we can make our bills, but ideally, I would hope that we can make our bills with our income, because this isn't a situation that is sustainable. Obviously, you need to make as much money as you have going out every month, and if you don't, that's how you find yourself in debt. So we need to make enough money to cover what we have going out every single month. And I know that day is coming. We just have to get through kind of these rocky months and moments. Next June, my husband will be getting his private pension. That's not Social Security or anything like that. That's just the private pension that he earned through his company. However, he did have to wait until his 50th birthday. So he is not able to collect that with all the rest of his benefits like health insurance and everything that goes with it until next June. So between now and June, it's just going to be tricky on how we manage things. And like I said, is it possible for us to do it even if we don't make enough money between now and then? Yes. Is it ideal? Absolutely not. I would hate for us to have saved like we did and as aggressively as we did and pay down our bills and put ourselves into this position only to kind of bleed our savings dry, because of this. So he is going to be doing as much as possible. And, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I might be pleasantly surprised with his paychecks and be able to write something in there that is very unexpected. So, it's just a lot of unknowns right now, and we'll get through it. But, I wanted to give you kind of an overview and an explanation first. I am extremely transparent on my channel. If you're new here and you, are looking for, videos that kind of give you too much information, this would be a channel for that. Sometimes I think I go into too much information, and sometimes I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but this is my layout in case you missed it in my previous video. This is what I'm going to be working with for October. I am going to be using this journal beyond October. However, this is the layout I'm using for the month of October. Now, when November hits, am I still going to do these exact boxes in this exact format and arrangement? I don't know that. I just have to see how much I like this. And if I don't like it, I can switch it up for November. And if I do like it, I can just, transfer it on over there and do the same thing. The first week looks a little bit different. As you can see, I just kind of had these like really big headers, and I was just very bold about everything. And I decided that the smaller and, kind of the more minimalist look just looked cleaner to me. So I'm not sure that I'll be doing much decorating in these weekly layouts, but I did quite a bit previous. And this is my yearly bills layout. This is going to carry me from October until December of 2021. So a nice big spreadsheet that's going to capture all kinds of good information that is long overdue. I'm really glad that I did this. This is my favorite layout, I think. I'm just so happy I did it. So I will probably be doing an updated sinking funds video for you guys, just so you can see where we're at with that. And then once we're up to date with that, who knows, I might have to backtrack and say, well, we were here, but now we're here because we had to take all this money out to pay this or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to a little bit of unknown, you know, situation in life. I mean, life is not without its challenges, and you know, this isn't the worst situation we could be faced with. So I still feel very blessed. I feel extremely motivated, and I just want to press on and do exactly what is necessary and what we need to do to get everything in order. So that is October. Stay tuned, because there's going to be obviously lots of updates to it, and you know, lots of videos that are kind of giving you a better look as we go along. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed talking it through with you. If you have any questions, of course, you can always leave them down below. I do try to get back to comments as soon as possible, but I do read them all, so I want to let you know how much I appreciate you guys not only watching, but also giving me some feedback. It's really helpful to me, and I just enjoy reading all of your helpful hints and your suggestions and your advice, and of course, all the nice things that you have to say. Really warms my heart. So I hope that you're doing well, and of course, I hope to see you in my next video. Take care.